years by next week. This feels like destiny finally getting impatient. This feels like a heart that has tried to stay measured, careful, quiet, and is now reaching the point where the truth wants breath. So Spirit is saying it plainly, you will end up with this person they see you as the one. And yes, a confession is living in this energy. The first card rising in my mind is the Lovers. And wow, what a powerful opening, because this is not only attraction, it is recognition, it is the feeling of meeting somebody and realizing your heart does not want to stay casual around them. I feel like this person did not expect the bond to hit this deeply. Maybe they thought you would simply be interesting. Maybe they thought it would be chemistry and then uncertainty. But somewhere along the line, the connection crossed into something much more sacred. Now, when they think about you, they do not think in fragments. They think in union, in choosing, in the kind of closeness that changes the shape of a life. And right beside that, I'm seeing the Ace of Swords that matters so much, because it tells me this energy is not staying hidden forever. This person may have delayed, they may have swallowed words watched from a distance, tried to sound casual, or acted like they had more time than they really do. But the truth has become too sharp now, too clear, too alive. I keep hearing one line over and over. I cannot keep this to myself much longer. That sentence feels like the whole room, because the confession here is not random. It is the result of realization. This person has reached the point where not speaking feels more painful than being vulnerable. And when a heart gets there, silence starts cracking on its own. The energy around you feels like the Empress, and I love that for you. Because it tells me this person does not see you as temporary. You feel valuable to them in a way that goes far beyond attraction. They may look at you and feel softness, beauty, magnetism, emotional depth, and the kind of presence that makes a person want to grow up emotionally. There is something about you that awakens devotion instead of games. Around your energy, they do not want to wander, they want to stay, they want to build. Then I'm seeing the Two of Cups, and this is where the reading gets sweeter, because this says the bond feels mutual in spirit, even if everything has not yet been said aloud. There is an energetic meeting here, a recognition that goes both ways. Even if one of you has been quieter, even if timing has felt strange, even if things have unfolded in a slow or complicated way, the deeper current feels aligned. I get the sense that your souls understand something that the outer world is still catching up to. Another message keeps coming through very strongly. They don't compare you to anyone else anymore. That lands right in the heart. Because I feel this person has already crossed that threshold where you stop being an option and start becoming the answer. The person, the one they measure real closeness against, the one their heart returns to without effort. Then I'm seeing the Ten of Pentacles, and wow, that is a stunning confirmation for ending up together. This is shared life energy, long road energy, legacy energy. The kind of love that wants more than moments. I feel like this person is not only drawn to you romantically, they are beginning to see you as somebody they could actually build with, wake up beside, create stability with, and keep choosing through time. That is why the confession matters so much. It is going to come from the place in them that feels the future. And then the Knight of Cups steps forward, which tells me the heart is trying to move now. This person may come in tenderly. They may not shout the feeling at first. It may arrive through a heartfelt message, a more vulnerable conversation, or a moment where the emotional tone changes and suddenly you realize, oh, this is real. This is their heart trying to find its way into your hands without dropping from nerves first. So the opening message of this reading is this. Yes, you are meant to end up with this person because they already see you as the one in a way that is growing deeper, clearer, and harder for them to hide. The confession is here because their inner truth has reached the surface. They are not merely interested. They are emotionally claimed by what they feel for you. And Spirit is saying the distance between silence and honesty is getting smaller by the day. And one last whisper before I close this first wave. This connection is not trying to become real. It already is what is happening now. Is that the truth is preparing to catch up with what the heart has known for a while. This person's heart is no longer wandering around the idea of you. It is settling, choosing, leaning in with more certainty than they may be showing on the outside. The first card rising here is the Four of Wands, and wow, this tells me the energy between you is not light, temporary, or built to drift away. This is togetherness energy, homecoming energy. The kind of bond that wants to become real in the everyday world, not just live in fantasy, chemistry, or emotional almostness. I feel like when this person thinks about being with you, they do not only think about passion, they think about peace, about laughter, about finally not having to search anymore. And right beside that, I'm seeing the King of Pentacles that matters so much. Because it tells me they are not only drawn to you, they are considering what it would mean to truly keep you, to protect the connection, to build something reliable around it, to become the kind of person who can offer consistency instead of confusion. I keep hearing something very clearly: I could actually make a life with them. That line lands deeply because it tells me this person is not picturing a short chapter. They are picturing structure, shared mornings, shared plans, a future that keeps unfolding instead of breaking off. The energy around you here feels like the star. And I love that because it tells me this person sees something extraordinary in you, not perfect in a fantasy way, but rare in a soul way. You may feel like the answer to a quiet prayer they stopped saying out loud. There is a healing quality to your presence in their heart. I feel like loving you makes them want to believe in good outcomes again. It makes them want to trust what is opening instead of sabotaging it before it grows. Then I'm seeing the Page of Pentacles, and that says the confession may begin simply, but do not underestimate the depth behind it. This person may come in with a grounded gesture, a practical offer, a straightforward invitation, or a quiet opening that does not immediately reveal the whole storm in their chest. But beneath that simple approach is something much bigger. A sincere desire to start building, start speaking more honestly, and stop leaving all the real feeling trapped in their private world. Another message keeps rising strongly. They want something that lasts this time. That feels important. Because I do think this person has changed. Maybe love used to feel chaotic to them. Maybe they used to chase intensity more than depth. Maybe they stayed in emotional uncertainty for too long. But with you, their heart is asking for permanence, for steadiness. For truth that can actually survive daylight, then the sun appears. And wow, this brightens the whole reading because it tells me your connection is not only powerful, it is life-giving. This person may feel happier when they think of you, lighter when they imagine you near, more themselves when they let the possibility of you really in. That kind of emotional sunlight is hard to forget. Hard to replace, hard to deny. It is one more reason Spirit keeps saying you will end up with this person. The bond is not draining their life force. It is waking it up, and then I'm seeing the Hierophant. Beautiful, because this is commitment energy again, official energy, sacred partnership energy. So yes, if you have been asking whether this person sees you in a serious way, the answer is absolutely yes. They are not only feeling affection, they are feeling the pull towards something named, something honored, something real enough to stand inside with both feet. That is where the confession gets its power from. It is not just, I want you. It is, I see what this could become. And I don't want to pretend I don't. The message in this next movement is this: the reason you are meant to end up with this person is because the connection is already shifting inside them from desire into decision. They do not only crave your presence, they are beginning to picture a genuine life with you, something stable, warm, emotionally bright, and deeply chosen. The confession they carry is not random emotion. It is the heart recognizing home and wanting to stop treating it like a temporary stop along the way. And Spirit keeps whispering one last thing here. You are not just the person they fell for. You are the person who changed their idea of what staying could feel like, and that is why this grows stronger instead of fading. Because every road in their heart keeps bending back toward the same truth. You are the one they want to build around. And even if they have not said every word yet, their inner world has already started arranging itself around your name, your energy, your place in the future. That is not a passing feeling. It is destiny learning your face. This next movement feels sacred, intimate, and almost luminous. It is not only that this person wants you, it is that somewhere inside them, the connection has already crossed into inevitability. Their heart is no longer asking, could this be something? It is asking, how do I tell them they already feel like the person I am meant to choose? The first card stepping forward is the Lovers. And wow, this is not surface attraction, not chemistry without depth, not fascination that fades the second reality shows up. This is recognition, soul meeting, the kind of energy that makes a person realize their heart has gone somewhere serious without asking permission first. I feel like this person may have tried at some point to stay measured, practical, or emotionally careful. But the connection kept widening inside them. It kept asking for more honesty, more presence, more future. And right beside that, I'm seeing temperance, beautiful, because this tells me your connection is not only intense, it is divinely balanced, healing, blending. The kind of bond that makes two energies feel as though they are becoming more themselves, not less in each other's presence. I keep hearing something very clearly. Being with you feels like things make sense. That line lands deeply. Because I think one of the reasons this person sees you as the one is that your energy does not only excite them, it settles them, it brings coherence. It makes their inner world feel less scattered around you. They are not only drawn in, they are rearranged in the best way. Love becomes less of a battle and more of a landing place. The energy around you here feels like the Queen of Pentacles, and I love that so much because it tells me they do not see you as temporary magic. They see you as someone real enough to build with, warm enough to share a life with, strong enough to weather seasons with. There is something about your presence that feels trustworthy to them. Not boring, not flat, not predictable, but trustworthy in the deepest sense, like your love could hold, like your heart could make a home. Then I'm seeing the Eight of Pentacles, and this says something so important. They are not only fantasizing about ending up with you, they are willing to work for it, to learn, to adjust, to become more intentional. Spirit keeps showing me that this person may already be thinking about how to prove themselves worthy of the kind of love they feel with you. That is part of the confession energy, too. It is not just I feel this, it is I am willing to show up for this. Another message keeps rising strongly. I don't want to lose something this rare by staying quiet too long. That one carries weight. Because it tells me the confession is being pushed forward by value. This person knows you matter. They know this bond matters. And the more clearly they see that, the harder it becomes to hide behind silence or cautious half measures. Then the Ten of Cups appears, and wow, that gives this reading such emotional beauty, because this says they can already feel the atmosphere of happiness with you. Not only the spark, the comfort too, the emotional belonging, the shared joy, the sense that love with you would not just be passionate, it would be nourishing. I feel like this person has started picturing what your life could feel like together when the doors are open. The truth is spoken, and nobody is pretending anymore. And then the Ace of Cups rises, which tells me the confession here is coming from a heart that is full, full enough that silence can no longer act like safety, full enough that the truth is pressing against their chest, looking for language, looking for witness, looking for your eyes. The message in this next current is this: you will end up with this person because the connection has moved past attraction and into sacred recognition, emotional balance, practical intention, and a vision of shared happiness that neither heart can easily dismiss. They do not just see you as someone they love, they see you as someone they could keep loving through real life. And that is exactly why the confession keeps moving closer. And Spirit keeps whispering one last thing here. You are not the person who taught them how to fall. You are the person who taught them how to stay. And once a heart learns that lesson in the presence of one soul, it does not forget, it chooses, it deepens, it begins preparing a future around the one who made forever feel possible. That is the truth gathering here, and it is very close now. If you have been wondering whether this was all in your head, whether the bond meant as much as it felt, whether their heart knew gravity of what stood between you, this reading says yes, they know. They feel it, and the closer they get to admitting that aloud, the less possible it becomes to imagine any future without you in it. Like the moment a secret garden gate finally swings open, this next current feels lush, inevitable, and full of the kind of love that has stopped pretending it is casual. What I'm getting here very strongly is that this person is no longer only dreaming about you in pieces, they are seeing you as the center of the picture now, not a beautiful possibility among others. The center. The one their heart keeps circling back to when it tries to imagine peace, partnership, desire, laughter, healing, and a future that actually feels worth building. The first card stepping forward is the Emperor. And wow, this tells me their feelings are growing structure now. Backbone decision. This is not somebody drifting in emotion without direction. This is somebody whose heart is beginning to organize itself around what it knows. I feel like loving you has made them more serious, more intentional, more aware of what kind of person they need to be if they want to stand beside you in a real way. And that matters. Because when love starts changing someone's standards for themselves, it is no longer a passing feeling. It is becoming destiny with responsibility attached. And right beside that, I'm seeing the Four of Wands, beautiful, because this says they are not only longing for you, they are longing for arrival, for stability, for the feeling of finally being where they are supposed to be, with the person they are supposed to be with. I keep hearing something very clearly. I don't want to keep standing outside of this. That line lands deeply, because it tells me they are tired of distance in every form. Emotional distance, unspoken distance. The kind of distance where love exists but is not fully lived yet. This person wants to cross the threshold. They want to stop hovering around the truth and start inhabiting it. They want to stop wondering what someday might look like and begin making choices that move the bond toward a real home in the world. The energy around you here feels like the star, and I love that so much because it tells me they see you as the answer to a part of themselves that has been waiting quietly for something real. Your energy does not only attract them, it restores them. I feel like being connected to you brings out hope, softness, and a deeper kind of honesty in them. Around you, the future looks brighter, more graceful, more alive, and that is one reason they see you as the one. It is not only that they want you, it is that life itself seems to open more beautifully when they imagine you in it. Then I'm seeing the Knight of Pentacles, and this is such a strong sign that the connection wants substance, slow. Yes, deliberate, yes, but shallow. Remember, this person may be taking their time because they feel the weight of what they want to build. They are not looking for a dramatic moment that burns out. They are feeling for something that could last, something they could protect with loyalty, effort, and presence. So if their heart has felt careful, that is not because the love is weak. It is because the love matters. Another message keeps rising strongly. I want to come towards you in a way that can stay. That one says so much. Because it tells me this person is not content with chemistry alone, not content with beautiful conversations alone, not content with emotional intensity that never becomes life. They want the kind of closeness that can survive ordinary days, the kind of bond that can be returned to, the kind of truth that can keep breathing after the first confession has already been said. And then the Ten of Pentacles appears, and wow, that is such a stunning confirmation that they are thinking in terms of permanence, shared roots, long time frames, a future that stretches beyond the first thrill of being chosen. This person sees you as somebody they could build legacy with, not in some cold or formal way, in a deeply human way. Home, history, memory, devotion, the whole weave of a life. The message in this movement is this: you will end up with this person because the love in them is becoming more structured, more grounded, and more willing to cross from longing into lived reality. They are not only seeing you as the one in a romantic flash, they are seeing you as the one in the architecture of the future. And Spirit keeps whispering one last thing here. The reason this feels so strong is that their heart is no longer asking who they want in a moment. It is asking who they want beside them when the years begin to turn. And every time they ask that question honestly, the same answer returns, you again and again and again. That is not fantasy. That is recognition becoming commitment from the inside out. Now, and even their quiet plans have started carrying your name without permission. That is how deeply the heart has already chosen. Nothing in them is casual about this anymore. Not one part. Even now, yes. This next movement feels electric, hushed, and full of that sacred kind of fear that only appears when the heart knows it is standing in front of something life-changing. What I'm getting here very strongly is that this person is no longer only dreaming of a future with you. They are emotionally preparing themselves to speak from that future, to let you hear what they have already admitted to themselves in private. And what they have admitted is not small. It is not halfway. It is not maybe if everything lines up someday. Number, it is the deep, steady realization that you are the person they want to keep choosing. The first card stepping forward is the King of Cups. And wow, this tells me their emotions have ripened. This is not a stormy, confused, impulsive heart anymore. This is feeling with depth, with steadiness, with sincerity. I feel like part of why the confession is so close now is because the heart inside them has become too mature to keep hiding behind mixed signals. They know what they feel, they know it matters, and they know it deserves language. And right beside that, I'm seeing the Ace of Pentacles, beautiful, because this says the confession does not come empty-handed. It comes with real intention, real ground, real desire for a beginning that can actually hold the weight of what they feel. I keep hearing something very clearly. I don't just want to tell you, I want to start something real with you. That line lands deep. Because it tells me they are not seeking relief through honesty alone, they are seeking a doorway, a next step. A chance to move what has lived in the heart into the world of action, effort, consistency, and shared reality. This is why you will end up with this person. The love here is not content being beautiful in private, it wants to become lived truth. The energy around you here feels like the Queen of Cups, and I love that so much because it tells me this person still sees your heart as something precious, soft, and worthy of immense care. They are not coming towards you like somebody throwing emotion at a wall and hoping it sticks. They are coming towards you with reverence. I feel like they know your tenderness matters, your trust matters, your peace matters. So even as the confession grows stronger, there is still this wish in them to be gentle with you, to make sure the truth lands as an offering, not a burden. That I'm seeing the Sunday. And wow, this tells me the emotional atmosphere around the confession is brightening. Hope is getting stronger than fear. Warmth is getting stronger than doubt. The future feels more inviting than frightening. I feel like when this person thinks about actually speaking, actually choosing, actually letting the connection breathe in the open, the image in their heart is not doom. It is joy, relief. The kind of sunlight that comes after too much hesitation, that is a beautiful sign because it means the truth is being drawn forward by love, not pushed forward only by pain. Another message keeps rising strongly. I want us in the open, not only in my heart. That one is powerful because it tells me they are tired of carrying this connection inwardly while the outer world still has no name for it. They want the bond to exist in reality. They want to stop loving you like a secret and start loving you like a choice. That is a huge shift. That is the shift from longing to commitment, and then the Ten of Cups appears, and it is gorgeous here, because this says the picture in their spirit is no longer vague. They can feel the emotional fullness of a life with you. Laughter, support, daily warmth, shared softness, the emotional ease of not having to keep guessing whether love is present. They want that with you not as a fantasy to escape into, but as a truth to build toward. The message in this movement is this: you will end up with this person because their heart has become both emotionally clear and practically ready. They are not only seeing you as the one in a fleeting romantic sense, they are seeing you as the one in the real life sense, the person they want to speak truth to, build with, and choose in the open. And Spirit keeps whispering one last thing here. What is coming now is not the language of confusion. It is the language of someone who already knows where home is and is finally getting ready to say your name, like a promise. That is why the energy feels so close. That is why the confession feels so alive. That is why forever is no longer a dream in them, but a sentence waiting for breath. Even the quiet in them sounds different now, less like hiding, more like gathering. More like a heart buttoning its sleeve, straightening its spine, and walking toward love with both hands open, ready to be seen and ready to stay for you, for truth, for the life they can already feel. This last movement feels certain, burning, and deeply blessed. What I'm getting here more than anything is that this connection is not wandering anymore. It is arriving. The heart involved here has crossed a line, a sacred one, the line between wondering and knowing, the line between feeling and choosing. The line between longing for possibility and recognizing destiny when it is standing right in front of you. The first card stepping forward is the Ten of Pentacles. And wow, this is the full confirmation of lasting union, shared life, rooted love, and the kind of bond that does not come into your world just to create a beautiful scene and then disappear. No, this is life-building energy, house keys, shared plans, deep loyalty, history in the making. So when Spirit says you will end up with this person, it is because the energy is already moving in the direction of permanence. Their heart is not only lit up by you, it is settling around you. That is a very different kind of love. And right beside that, I'm seeing the Ace of Cups. Beautiful. Because this says the future they want with you is not dry duty. It is living love, warm love, tender love. Overflowing love, I keep hearing something very clearly. I don't want a beautiful chapter. I want a beautiful life with you in it. That line lands in the center of everything because it tells me this person is no longer trying to keep this connection inside a romantic box. They are not only dreaming about chemistry, attraction, or emotional closeness. They are seeing a whole life. A life where your laughter belongs in their home. A life where your presence changes the feeling of the ordinary. A life where choosing you does not feel like a sacrifice. It feels like the answer. The energy around you here feels like the